Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all of the books that I read in 2018 plus my favorites. I actually have 18. I literally wrote them up and they fit perfectly. I don't know how I had 18 5-star favorite books in the year of 2018, but I'm hoping that I can maybe do even more 5 stars this year in 2019 because I just feel like my TBR is so amazing. So this video, I hope, isn't going to be too long. I'm going to just try and quickly go through them, so not really telling you any kind of synopsis. But let's go ahead and start with my top favorite books. These aren't going to be in any particular order, so just because I have some of the first ones listed does not mean that I liked them better than the last ones I have listed. It was going to be way too hard for me to kind of like figure out exactly how I felt with all these books, especially because some of the ones that I read earlier on in the year, I didn't remember all of the details anyway, so I didn't want to rank them that way just because I just thought it wasn't fair that, you know, I might be ranking higher some of the books I recently read and lower some of the books that I read like last spring or something like that. So let's get started. Number 1 on my list is Keto by Dr. Will Cole. This is more of a like cookbook type of thing, but I've been absolutely loving it. It was definitely my favorite cookbook of the year. Number 2 is Caravel by Stephanie Garber. This is actually like one of the only fantasy books I read this year and actually enjoyed. Number 3 is Wonder by R.J. Palaccio. I think that's how you say that. Number 4 is Stillhouse Lake by Rachel Kane. Number 5 is Sleep Smarter by Sean Stevenson. Number 6 was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and this was actually one of the only like YA books that I really enjoyed. I have a really hard time reading like YA or fantasy, so when I read a book that is like that and it gets a 5-star rating, it's a big deal for me. Number 7 was Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. Number 8 was Final Girls by Riley Sager, and number 9 was The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. Those are the only 2 books that he's written so far, and he has a 3rd one coming out this year called Lock Every Door, and he has like easily become one of my favorite authors of this year. Number 10 was The Selection by Kira Klass. Number 11 was All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This is definitely, I think, my absolute favorite of hers, but I just love so many of her books. Number 12 is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, and number 13 is Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. If you can't tell, she's like one of my favorite authors of all time. Number 14 is Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. This was her debut novel, and she is coming out with another novel this year, which I'm super excited because I think she's going to become one of my favorite authors as well. Number 15 is Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCreet. Number 16 was Close My Eyes by Sophia Mackenzie. Number 17 was Bird Box by Josh Mallerman. And number 18 was Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. Those are all of my favorite books from this year. They got all 5-star ratings from me, and I would recommend them to pretty much anybody. Like if you're a huge thriller, there's a bunch of thrillers on that list, but then also if you're a romance fan, of course, I love Colleen Hoover, but those are definitely some of like my top rated books that I usually recommend to everybody. Now I'm going to switch over and jump into all the rest of the books that I read in 2018. I finished out the year with 75 books, and I'll go ahead and tell you all of them with the star rating just so that you kind of know what I thought about them as well. So let's go ahead and jump in. The Elite by Kira Cass. One by Kira Cass. The Air by Kira Cass. One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F by Mark Manson. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Wheat Belly Total Health by William Davis. The Wife Between Us by Sarah Perkins and Greer Hendricks. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Keto by Maria Emmerich. Room by Emma Denogue. Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. The Complete Guide to Fasting. A Stranger in the House by Shari Lapina. The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. Losing Hope by Colleen Hoover. Gather the Daughters by Jenny Malamed. There's No Tomorrow by Jennifer Armentrout. The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. The Maze Runner by James Dashner. The Scorch Trials by James Dashner. Legendary by Stephanie Garber. Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. Maybe Not by Colleen Hoover, 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, The Good Girl by Mary Kubica, The One by John Mars, The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, The Perfect Mother by Amy Mully, Love and Other Carnivorous Plants by Florence Gonzalez, Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris, The Obesity Code by Jason Fung, Winter Girls by Laurie Anderson, The Sleep Solution by W. Chris Winter, The Child Finder by Renee Denfeld, The Book of Essie by Megan Weir, Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire, A Glimpse Beyond the Aether by Susan Francis, Baby Teeth by Zoje Stage, The Little Book of Huga by Mike Wyking, Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll, The Spender's Guide to Debt-Free Living by Anna Jones, Merry and Bright by Debbie Malcolmer, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, Vox by Christina Dalsher, The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, The Sister by Louise Jensen, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts of the books that I read, or if your rating is different than, a rating that I gave, go ahead and pop that down in the comments to let me know what you thought about it. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys!